would you like me to say? Okay. Words, motorcycles, are dancing. Oh, First Friday was really nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
That sounds so quiet.
Maybe fix it?
I'm trying to. I'm adjusting my microphone to sticky, so hopefully I can hear myself. How about now? Now? I'm trying to turn this. Oh, there we go. Looks like we do a microphone adjustment from this.
No, I hate.
I think this is better.
I
Should be able to hear myself. Oh yeah, now I can hear myself. Do you mind speaking really quick? Please and thank you.
I may consider it.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, we're set. If you want to read now, you can.
Could you mute yourself?
Yes.
The Journey, Big Panda, and Tiny Dragon by James Norbury. The Journey, Big Panda, and Tiny Dragon. For those on their own journey, there was a temple high in the mountains. And it shows a picture of a temple high in the mountains. Why do pages stick together? They just like to pick on me. Surrounded by a vast forest, and it shows a picture of a tree. A deep, still lake, and it shows a picture of a deep, still lake. The temple had seen better days, but that didn't matter to those two friends who made that ancient place their home. Big Panda and Tiny Dragon. During the day, they would travel high into the mountain peaks and explore thick, tangled forest, hoping to catch a glimpse of the creatures that lived there. At night, they would watch the stars and drink hot tea and Tiny Dragon so carefully prepared. They had tea time. That's so cute.
That's adorable.
One winter evening, under a full moon, the dragon turned to his friend and said, "This place is incredible, Big Panda. The trees, the mountain, the birds, the animals, they are all so magical. We are so lucky. So why do I feel like something is missing? Why do I feel incomplete?" That's a heart to heart.
It's a real deep one right there, buddy.
Yeah. Big Panda nodded and took a sip of tea. "That is a good question, little one. And the answer is simple yet difficult. Sleep now. Tomorrow is a new day, and we'll see what we can do." And then they take a little nap. When I'm not feeling good, I take a nap. That helps.
Naps do help, I'm not gonna lie. I don't do it very often, but they do help.
It helps when it feels like my world's falling apart personally.
I also like showers. Showers are really nice too, not gonna lie.
Yes, even if you just sit there and let the water hit you.
Exactly.
Big Panda awoke early, but his friend already woke up, watching the sunrise over the mountains. He seated himself on the rock next to the tiny dragon. You are unhappy, my little friend, said Big Panda. That's okay. It happens to all of us. The important thing is that you have noticed something is wrong. It's hard to recognize sometimes.
When something's wrong?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Because
no,
you
I
don't want to
understand.
validate your emotions all the time.
Not always. But also you want to be
Probably.
aware of yourself, that's all.
It's very true. People should not stop us, said Big Panda. They are simply nature's way of letting us know we need to explore a different path, which can sometimes be painful. You have shared how you feel, said Big Panda. Sharing our lives, both the good, the bad, is what makes us closer and lets us help each other.
To the thick and the thin.
I'd help you, said Tiny Dragon, if you ever needed it. You help me every day, replied Big Panda, just by being yourself. They crossed the old bridge that led to the temple garden. Change, said Big Panda. Even if you don't know what it will lead, is better than stagnation? Stagnation. Reminder on that word, please.
Stagnation, to stay still, as in stagnant water.
Thank you. Even if you don't know where it will lead, it's better than stagnation. In some ways, the mind is...
It's basically saying, like, it's better to still be doing something and constantly moving than just staying in the same place forever. So
Yeah, you don't want to float. That's unhealthy.
No, exactly.
In some ways, the mind is much like a garden. It needs care, attention, and effort. Left to its own device, it will soon become overridden with weeds, and where there are too many weeds, flowers cannot grow. So sometimes you have to change your environment even if it hurts.
Change environment, but also sometimes you change your mindset. Your mindset is everything.
But sometimes people change you as a person if you give your energy to the wrong people.
Which is why you just need to be aware sometimes. And I know being aware is difficult as well. Like, it's not easy to know, like, oh, this is not good, this is bad. Like, just being aware of oneself in any scenario. I mean, it takes time to be able to be self-aware, but just practicing it even is just a good start.
Tiny Dragon nod. But how do I pull up the weeds? I will help you, said Big Panda. Remember, little one, together we can do anything. Such a good friend.
An amazing friend, I must say.
They left the garden and walked the cliff. Then overlooked the great river. After seating himself on the rock, Big Panda turned to Tiny Dragon. We cannot just sit here and hope for the weeds will go away on their own. We must take action. Sometimes some things need to change, and that requires effort. We shall go on a journey across the river. They returned to the temple to cross or to close the wooden shutters and block up the broken doorway, for it remained a lot in the mountains, and Tiny Dragon did not want his things to get wet while they were away. Oh, he has a little luggage going on. It's so cute.
It's adorable.
When he was finished, he placed a few of the most prized possessions into his little cart and went outside to meet Big Panda. When Big Panda saw the overstuffed cart, he slowly shook his head. "We cannot take all of this over the river, but we need these things," said Tiny Dragon, stroking his picture of Grandpa Dragon. Aww.
That hurts different. I'm just saying, like, come on, he needs that. Like, you need that.
"Everything you need," said Big Panda, "is already inside of you." Tiny Dragon paused. Deep down, he knew Big Panda was right, but he had one small question. "Can I take my tea set?" "Of course," said Big Panda. "There is nothing wrong with enjoying the fruits of the world. We just need to make sure we do not lose ourselves in them. That is valid." And so Tiny Dragon climbed up onto Big Panda's back, and they followed the rock trail that led out of the mountains and down to the river, leaving the old temple far behind them. They traveled for many days through the dense forest that covered the mountains. They passed crashing waterfalls and dark, deep pools. They saw colorful birds and glimpsed small deers leading through the towering bamboos, until one evening, just as the stars started to come out, they arrived at the banks of the great river. They finally got to their destination. Just one step at a time.
That's all it takes.
"We'll stop here tonight," said Big Panda. "We can light a fire and listen to the river. And it will make some tea," said Tiny Dragon. Tiny Dragon collected some stickers, and soon water was heated over the crackling fire. Tiny Dragon poked the fire with a stick. "Big Panda, I was wondering, why don't I get the same pleasure of collecting sticks now that I did when I was very tiny dragon?" "I used to love choosing the best sticks, brushing off the leaves, and placing them in my basket." Big Panda thought for a moment. Our thoughts can lead us away from ourselves. When you were young, the task of gathering sticks probably took all your attention. When you are focused in that way, your mind tends not to your mind tends not to wander, and that creates a sense of inner stillness from which arise feeling of joy and peace. Tiny Dragon pondered. Perhaps you're right. When I was collecting them just now, I was thinking about whether the journey would really help. I was not really thinking about all the sticks at all. Stillness is always there to be found, said Big Panda, and in that peace you may start to find yourself again. The tiny dragon felt that Big Panda was only reminding him of something he already knew deep inside. And if you forget yourself, just look up at the stars in the sky and listen to the pines waving in the evening breeze. They are doing what nature intended in this moment. That's why I love camping. It's literally why I go camping. In the morning. Well, when you're out in the forest and you have so many problems and you get away from all of it, it just becomes so quiet. All the trees just waving, the fire cracking in front of you, the warmth of the fire, the cool breeze just blowing past, like you just sitting there in the middle of nature with all these trees waving. It's just a whole new relaxation, like it's a whole thing. Yeah, it's amazing. In the morning, while they were breakfast on bamboo and berries, Big Panda noticed Tiny Dragon was looking worried. "What is it, little one?" Tiny Dragon looked up. "I'm afraid," he said quietly. "I don't want to cross the river." "It's natural to be scared," said Big Panda. "But sometimes we must carry on anyway. Fear will not stop you dying." That's dark. "But it's not. It may stop you from living." Wow. Let's write that down. Fear will not stop you from dying.
Right.
Put it as a quote of the day on the fridge, please, right now.
I will.
Fear will not stop you dying, but it may stop you from living. Fear will not stop you dying, but it may stop you from living. Sorry, I had to repeat that so it could get burned in my head.
No,
Jesus,
I
I love that.
Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go write that now, I guess. We'll write that. Do you want to continue, or do you want until I get back?
You'll be fine. It's a short quote. I'll wait.
Okay.
That's very true, though. If you fail at something you attempt, at least you know you attempted. And once you succeed someday, it'll be much better. It may suck to fail sometimes, but that's how you know you're trying to make progress. Just keep building and do better next time. I understand beating yourself up, but always push forward. You got this. That's my baby. Fine. Mighty fine.
Hello.
I'm here.
Hi. I'm back with my blanket. It's very comfy, and I get to play video games with blanket, and I'm so happy. I will now mute, by the way, so you can continue. Thank you.
Yep.
Oh, also I tried looking for your glasses, and I do not see them, but I will be cleaning tomorrow, so I will look everywhere. Promise.
No worries. I'm trying to find the page. I lost the page because I almost fell asleep. The cat's laying on me.
Hiccup, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
That's cute. Actually, one second. Tell me if you can hear me when I do this.
I cannot hear you right now.
Okay, so I can mute my... Okay, that's cool. I can mute my microphone, not only from my microphone, but also from the controller itself. That is really nice, so I don't have to keep reaching over to my
Can you
microphone.
hear me now?
I can hear you now. I cannot hear you now. I cannot hear you right now. You're speaking.
I
You're
pulled him out and put it right there too. I was just like looking it over.
I hear
The
nothing.
whole time I was just like,
Does this mute me?
I can hear you currently. No, I cannot. Was I going this way?
Could not hear me just now? I'm gonna
Nope.
say
No,
I'm gonna say BB-8.
I don't know what. I cannot hear you right now.
Okay, cool. Anyways.
Go on, please.
We'll stop here tonight, said Big Panda. We can light a fire and listen to the river. And we will make some tea, said Tiny Dragon. Tiny Dragon collected some sticks, and soon water was heated over the crackling fire. Tiny Dragon poked the fire with a stick. Big Panda, I was wondering, why don't I get the same pleasure from collecting sticks now that I did when I was a very tiny dragon? I used to love choosing the best sticks, brushing off the leaves and placing them in the basket. Big Panda thought for a moment. Our thoughts can lead us away from ourselves. When we were young, the task of gathering sticks probably took your attention. When you focus on it anyways, your mind tends not to wander, and that creates a sense of inner stillness from which arises the feeling of joy and peace. Tiny Dragon pondered. Perhaps you're right. When I was collecting them just now, I was thinking about whether this journey would really help. I was not really thinking about the sticks at all. Stillness is always there to be found, said Panda, and in that peace you may start to find yourself again. Tiny Dragon felt that Big Panda was not reminding him of something he already knows deep inside. And if you forget yourself, just look up in the sky and listen to the pines wave in the tree breeze. They are doing what nature intended in this moment. In the morning, while they were eating breakfast on bamboo berries, Big Panda noticed Tiny Dragon was worried. "What is it, little one?" Tiny Dragon looked up. "I am afraid," he said quickly. "I don't want to cross the river." "It's natural to be scared," said Big Panda, "but sometimes we must carry on anyways. Fear will not stop you dying, but it may stop you from living." They watched the sun break over dark mountains. "Something needed to change, my little friend," said Big Panda. "But if the change was easy, it probably wouldn't have made very much of a difference. Great change requires great effort." Tiny Dragon finished his berries. "You're right," he said. "Crossing the river scares me, and so I'll be scared when I do it. But I'm going to cross it regardless. Sorry." Together, they searched the shoreline until Big Panda found what he was looking for. "The weather can be fierce here," said Big Panda, pointing at some trees that had come down in a storm. "But we use bamboo to make rope and lash together the trunks. We will have a raft in no time." Despite how he felt inside, Tiny Dragon gave a big smile and puffed out his little chest. I'll get the bamboo. You collect the logs." By the afternoon, they had built a small raft. It was not much to look at, but it would carry them across the river. "I enjoyed that," said Tiny Dragon, taking it in what they had made. "And yes," said Big Panda, "gathering bamboo is no different from gathering sticks. Sometimes good and bad are just ways of looking at the world." As the sun was starting to set, Big Panda dragged the raft into the shallows of the river. They both climbed on board, and Tiny Dragon used his pole to push them off the bank. They let the current take the raft for a while and carry them down the river. I'm like barely halfway through the book, so I'm gonna stop right there. I'm getting kind of sleepy.
I understand that. That's a wonderful stopping point. That was 30 straight minutes of reading.
Was it?
Yes. Very good job. I'm very proud of you. You did wonderfully. You didn't really even stop, like, at all. So, great job. And you read aloud. You're doing better.
Thank you.
I'm very proud of you. Thank you. Thank you.
It's difficult for me sometimes, especially because I get distracted because of my ADHD.
The same. That's why I'm saying thank you so very much for being so vulnerable and open and willing to read to us, you know? I appreciate that. And we
Yeah, of
appreciate that,
course.
myself as well as my audience, you know?
We'll do a part 2.
I'm so down. Definitely. Would you like me to pause the stream?
Yes, please.
Alrighty, well then, I hope you guys enjoyed. That is part 1 of Journey of Big Panda and Tiny Dragon. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next live stream. Later!